So most of y'all know Netflix, in collaboration with 50 Cent, dropped the documentary about Diddy. And I'm going to say this. I don't know if y'all seen it, but if not, and if you can watch it, go ahead and watch it. It's worth it. If you thought Diddy looked bad before this, trust me when I tell you he don't. And if Diddy thought this would do him any favors, man, or however bad Diddy thought this would be, as far as I'm concerned, it's worse. Makes it look way worse. Gives a lot more context to things and just cements a bunch of other things. Now, this isn't about the documentary itself per se. This is more about something that was said in the doc. In the documentary, it was stated that when Biggie passed, Diddy said he was going to throw him the biggest, most extravagant funeral and basically cover all the costs, so on and so forth. It's alleged, and I'm saying alleged because I got something I'm going to play in this video as well, another clip, where somebody's refuting this. You can decide, but it's alleged that not only did Diddy not pay for the funeral, but he took the cost of the funeral essentially out of Biggie's estate. So he said he was going to pay for it, but I guess as money's rolled in, he took it out of what Biggie made posthumously, right? That's some cold shit if so, man, if true. But also, we got a clip of Loren Lorosa, who spoke with someone involved in the estate, saying that never happened. I don't know about all that, Mike, but let's listen to this first clip.
Sean assumed the position of his best friend in every article and publication, and that wasn't necessarily true.
And I'm going to be there for them just like he would be there for them to make sure that they're all right.
Sean said, we're going to do the biggest funeral for Biggie that New York has ever seen. And we start to put that together. He starts to see the price. And he says, we're going to do the biggest funeral, but Biggie's going to have to pay for this funeral. He was going to...
That's crazy. If this is true, that's crazy. Now, mind you, this statement is made by Bad Boy Record co-founder Kirk Burrows. Okay, so that should carry some weight. So if the co-founder is saying this, I think that carries some weight. Let's keep going.
Make the funeral be a recoupable charge to Biggie in death.
This is one of my closest friends, and it's still one of my closest friends. I feel his loss. I just miss him so much.
Sean doing a big show looks good on him. But he's not going to tell the world that Biggie was going to pay for it.
Man, what did Dave Chappelle say? So, I mean, right there, you can take it for what you will. But essentially, he's saying Diddy saw the price of the funeral and said, yeah, no, we ain't paying for this. And finagled away to have it come out of Biggie's own, posthumously out of Biggie's pocket, so to speak. Now, Loren Lorosa says she did some digging and she spoke to Wayne Burrow. Now, these guys are not related, but Wayne said that never happened. All right. That never happened. That Biggie's estate, Biggie's mom and them kept very, very detailed records and were very aware of the finances and what was going on. Let's listen to what she say, and then we'll go from there.
Alrighty, y'all. So yesterday I was able to speak to Wayne Burrow, who worked with Miss Violetta Wallace, who is the mother of Biggie Smalls and managing her son's estate. Now he reached out to me, or I reached out to him, and then he was like, okay, I'm willing to get on the phone with you because he says that a lot of people have been blowing them up following this documentary. And he wanted to speak out, and he made it clear that this is on behalf of Miss Violetta Wallace. He says there are a few allegations that he wanted to address from the doc. So number one, there's this allegation from the documentary that Diddy used Biggie's record label deal, or his own money, Biggie's own money, to pay for Biggie's funeral. So Wayne tells me that is completely not true, that he himself officiated the funeral and planned it along with Kirk Burrows, who is in the documentary, Bad Boy staff, and that Bad Boy paid for everything. At no point was there any indication that any royalty statement that this would be coming from Biggie's account. So the family never paid for anything in regards to the funeral. He said Bad Boy and Diddy covered everything from the cars to the police, to the funeral itself. And they wanted to make that clear. And he also says that it's disrespectful that anybody would even imply that, Miss Wallace, Biggie's mom, or any of his close friends would even be that naive to allow something like that to happen and not catch it as they're watching the royalty statements and just different things that are coming in.
That sounds like some gaslighting. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't saying the guys involved, but it sounds like some gaslighting where you try to switch it up on the people. Like it's disrespectful for y'all to even insinuate that we would be up to some shady shit. Listen, you can make accounting things look very benign, very innocuous, I guess, whatever word you want to throw in there. It does, and maybe they chase down every single expense that came in. Hey, what is this? I need to know what that is. And maybe they did, or maybe they just kind of looked at the statement, and if it looked right, it made sense. But let's not act like Diddy wouldn't be beyond having it look a certain way, right? So that no one catches on. So yeah, no, I'm a finance guy, man. I know numbers. I did a little bit of accounting. I used to keep my own books for my business for a while. There's all types of shit you can do to finagle shit, man. I got an accountant that does my finances for my business and shit like that. So nah, I don't know, man. It just sounds like the old gaslighting, y'all being, trying to make the other person feel bad for making accusations about something that went wrong. Now she's gone. Biggie's mom's gone. She can't defend herself, right? She can't tell us if that's true or not. How convenient.
He also talked to me a bit about the contract conversation. So there is a claim in the doc, and this has been a claim that's been circulating for some time, that right before Biggie's passing, there was an issue with contract negotiations between Diddy and Biggie Smalls. He says that is completely not true as well. He says that life after death was already done, so there was no contract negotiations happening. He says based on the sales and of the records and how everything was moving, Biggie had already recouped. So at that point, there was nothing to be talked about. But they did go back into a negotiation because they put out more music following the death of Biggie Smalls. And the conversation they had then was just about how that would happen and, how splits would be. But that whole conversation around the contract and there being an issue with that as well, there's nothing to talk about. He says the contract was the contract and people just need to leave it at that.
And Burrow is Biggie's friend. He also managed Biggie at one point. He owned remember that what was it called? Oh, Jesus Christ. By Storm Entertainment. That's what they ran, which was a management company. I think they managed Shine at one point. They managed Nas at one point. They managed, of course, B.I.G. So he would know, right?
You mean Wayne Burrow?
Wayne Burrow.
Yes. Yeah, so he would know. And he also wanted to mention too that there was this Rolling Stone cover conversation. In the documentary, they allege that Diddy. So Biggie was supposed to have this like Rolling Stone cover, and Diddy stepped in the way of that and said, "No, I got an album coming out. I want to, get on this cover." That was like a big point of the documentary. He says that never been brought to them. They had never had a conversation with anybody about a cover whatsoever. So he doesn't know that there's any truth to that as what either, because they'd never had a conversation about it, and they would have, So
who do y'all believe? Because I didn't watch the doc, but wasn't it Kirk Burrows, who was the co-founder of Bad Boy and former president of Bad Boy, who said that they charged Biggie's estate for his funeral?
Yes.
So who do y'all believe?
Kirk Burrow and Wayne Burrow, they brothers.
No, so it's so I believe Wayne, and the only reason why I believe Wayne is
you shouldn't believe anybody. You're a journalist.
Well, I didn't report from what I believe. I report from what was actually said to me in fact. But you asked me a question, so I'm answering
you don't have to answer it.
Why did you ask it?
But they don't mean you have to answer it. Stay on your toes.
Oh my God, whatever. Whatever. And I was going to say the only reason why if I am removing my journalist hat and just having an opinion after someone who watched the doc has been able to see both sides of it, I'm believing Wayne because he actively, up until the point that Miss Wallace passed away, was still involved in the estate. And he was saying that they had a process that they would do and it was Miss Wallace's wishes that they would do it this way, where they're not checking accounts and royalty statements just one time. She checked everything twice. It was very important for her to make sure that the money and everything was like paid attention to very heavily, because she wanted to make sure they didn't owe anybody anything, that they weren't up under anybody, and that they weren't being taken advantage of, because she wanted to make it where Biggie's kids and her grandkids could live a good life after he passed away and after she left this earth.
Would she be paying attention to something that happened so long ago, though, like in 1997, a funeral?
They said they was on it as soon as Big passed. They said they were on top of every last dime dollar because they wanted to make sure that the kids would be straight for life.
Yeah, she said that was really important to her, even down to the fact that when they decided not to go back into a deal after they knew that Biggie recouped, that was her decision to do that. So she has been on it since. And he did say to me that the only reason why he's addressing this, he's not going to speak to anybody else, but he wanted to speak to us and only wanted to address it because it's not fair fair for the people who, you know, are an extension of Biggie's legacy to have to be dealing with a lot of these rumors and these different allegations resurfacing when they're just trying to live their life. And this is actually family to someone. Someone lost a father and you know, so it's.
Why wouldn't he tell the documentary makers though? Because I'm sure the documentary makers reached out to the estate. Like when you're doing a documentary and you're on the level of this documentary, I am almost positive that they reached out to Biggie's estate to ask questions.
He said he didn't want to be bothered until he didn't have a choice but to be bothered.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Because now that whatever he's saying,
you letting them write their own narrative. If that's the case, why wouldn't you? If you're so concerned about people not hearing certain things or certain things getting out and all of that, then you need to control what's being put out and just talk to the people, because you know they're going to proceed regardless, right? And fill in the gaps however they see fit. So, yeah, no, I feel like that was kind of foolish.
I don't know if that's the truth or not. I don't know if those are facts, but I know the narrative, because of the documentary, is way bigger than anything that he could put out now.
I think they also told Loren that they hate the fact that Biggie's name is mentioned in all this BS, that they didn't want Biggie's name in this bull crap, and that was a part of it.
Well, he's a
but
part
like
of
what
the
Charlamagne
story.
also said, like, you know, salute to Wayne. He's actually been on the show. But if, what's the other guy's name?
Kirk.
If Kirk was doing the financing and he was the one that was paying the people,
he would know.
It was like, it's kind of like both sides, you know what I mean? Because you can hide money, right? You can say that, you know, that we really paid for this producer, but it went to this. I mean, but there's no ways but.
And you can't discredit Kirk because Kirk was the co-founder, Bad Boy, and the president at the time. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always 2-3 sides to a story, so I'm just here to present them all as much as I can.
You already told us which one you believe.
No, I presented it first, and then you asked me a question. I can believe what I can believe.
So Kirk and Wayne cousins.
They're spelled differently. So Wayne and Kirk is spelled differently. The Burrow, Burrow, Barrow, and then Burrowes, Burrows, and then Burrow.
Hey, these Diddy leftovers have lasted longer than Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Yeah.
I guess there's gonna be more and more because people are coming out that people have been talked about. Like you know,
it's still trending on X this morning. It was trending on X. I believe it was like number 5 or 6 across
I just
the
finished
US.
watching it yesterday. It's long.
And it just hit. I believe it just hit top 10 on Netflix. Let me look at what number
it was.
Number
1 on Netflix.
I just said, let me look at what number. You on me this morning?
No, I'm not.
All right, we're going to end that right there. Now, the comments on that video is kind of crazy. Let's check those out. So they said, Diddy's PR team, we working. Or possibly they didn't fact check and verify everything, kind of like the Gene and Jaguar Wright interviews, just running with a narrative and knowing that the masses are gullible and just run with the narrative. Diddy PR team working OT. Miss Wallace is not allowed to verify any of this. Exactly. How convenient. Here comes the caping for Diddy Club. This person said, listen to the statement. He said the money didn't come from quote unquote Biggie's account. No one said they sent Biggie's mom a bill. He said Biggie's contract was modified such that Biggie paid for it. That could have been money earmarked for Biggie that never made it to his account. Two things can be true at the same time. Only thing is, I don't know if you're going to modify the contract. That's a whole lot right there. Now, this one says Kirk Burrows was owner of Bad Boy and was there from day one. He was there in all the meeting and contract signing. Wayne wasn't in the room. Folks remember Diddy has his propaganda team working 24/7. Remember, Diddy has hired the dirtiest propaganda dude. Yeah, Diddy do. And this person makes the point that I'm saying. Kirk was there. He was in the room. I'm a lean more toward Kirk, not Wayne. But as you can see, the majority of people, whether you look at, because this clip is on every social media platform that I checked, it's on X, it's on TikTok. I haven't seen it on Facebook, but I didn't look yet. And nobody believes that. Well, nobody believes Wayne's story, that everything was kosher. Everyone believes Kirk's story. Now, look, I don't know, man. I just going off what we know about Diddy, especially after watching that doc, this would be right in Diddy's wheelhouse to do something like this, to just think about himself, to throw an extravagant funeral, so essentially so he could look good, right, for the attention, and to say we're gonna pay for it for the attention, but then not do it. That's right. That fits with Diddy's character for sure. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Who do y'all believe? Do you believe Kirk or Wayne? And remember, Kirk is the guy that's the co-founder. Wayne is the guy that spoke with Loren and said it ain't true. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.